guys, and welcome to yet another video. If you are new here, hello and welcome. I am Kalea from Craft Crazy, and today I'll be showing you guys how to make this beautiful reflected diamonds friendship bracelet. So this pattern was made by Pattern and Craft. She is a YouTuber as well for friendship bracelets, and she also has a account on Braceletsbook.com. And so yeah, she created this pattern, and I think it is absolutely beautiful. She creates lovely patterns, and she's also wonderful at making them herself. So yeah, check out her channel as well. I think it's great and it's very well done. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial and learn how to do this bracelet. So as you guys can see here, I just cut my strings, and for this bracelet you'll be needing 2 white strings on the very outside. I mean, they could be black too, but I would prefer to use white for mine. I just think it looks a lot better and adds just a little pop like for the middle of the bracelet. And also, for this pattern you will be needing 8 colors, so just including the white. So the white, and then I did like this sort of gradient from like this brick color, and then it kind of melts into like a light pink, as you can see. And then the grays, I did a light gray all the way to a darker gray, so you guys can see that as well. And you guys may have noticed that I don't really use these colors. I think they look beautiful together, but I don't usually use these colors. I use like brighter, more vibrant colors. Like for example, in this bracelet I've made of this pattern, you can see like how they're a lot more vibrant and not so dull and dark. Not that that's a bad thing or anything, but I'm just trying something new today, and I'm going to see if the gradients give it a different effect. So yeah, you'll be needing 8 colors and 2 strings of each 8 colors, except for your outermost 2 strings. They'll both be needing to be 1 color and just 4 strings of each for this color. So yeah, those are just the colors that you'll be needing and how many you'll be needing of them. And then I'd suggest maybe 1 meter long for each string, but of course it depends on your wrist size and your preference and how long you want your bracelet. And so yeah, those are just a couple of measurements and what you'll be needing for this bracelet today. Okay, so now that you should have your strings cut, I will tell you the order. So your first color should be the color that you cut 4 of. So mine's going to be the white, and if yours is a different color, that's fine. It should be all 4 of your strings. 2 of them each should be on the outermost left and right sides. And then after that is your second color, which mine is the dark brick. And then the second, mine's the lightest. Well, actually the third. And then your fourth, and then your fifth, which is my light pink right here, and then your 6th, and then 7th, and then 8th color, which should be in the middle. And then that's just the string order, and now it's time to start the bracelet. Okay, so for the first step of your pattern, you're just going to be taking the second from outermost right string and doing a forward backward knot onto the outermost right string. And after that, you're just going to finish the rest of the knots off with backward knots. So just backward knots all the way till your string that you just knotted with, which for me is the white. It's going to be in the very center, and after you've finished that, and then you're going to go on the other side and do that, you're just going to tie them both together. So just backward knots all the way till it reaches the middle. Like I have said before, we're just going to be doing the basic chevron start for the bracelet. And it's going to be, next part is just going to be a backward forward knot with the second to outermost left string onto the outermost left string. And after you complete that, since this is a mirrored pattern, you're just going to be doing forward knots all the way till your string reaches the very center of the bracelet. Okay, so now that both of your strings should be in the center of the bracelet, you're just going to be tying them off with a forward knot. Okay, so now that you have that basic chevron start for your bracelet, we're going to be doing this triangle part next after the chevron. So to do that, you're just going to be taking the second from outermost right string, and by doing a 4 backward knot, we'll start to get the edges to straighten out. After you have that, you're just going to be taking the string you have just knotted with and do 5 backward knots onto the 5 strings to the left of it. Once your 5 backward knots are complete, you're just going to be taking the string you've just knotted with all this way, and you're going to be doing a backward forward knot onto the string to the left of it. And there is our first color of the triangle done. And to complete the next one, we're just going to be taking the second from outermost right string and doing a forward backward knot onto the string to the right of it. And then do the exact same thing, except you're going to be doing 3 backward knots onto the 3 strings to the left of it. And then you're just going to be doing a backward forward knot onto the string to the left of it. So after you're finished with that, you're just going to be taking the second from outermost right string once again and doing a backward forward knot onto the outermost right string. And then after that, you're just going to be doing 1 backward knot onto the string to the left of it. And then after you completed that, you're just going to be taking the string again and doing a backward forward knot onto the string to the left of it. And that is our third color of this triangle. Next is our fourth and last color. So for that, you're just going to be taking the second from outermost right string, which is your fourth color, my light pink, and you're just going to be doing a forward backward knot onto the string to the left of it to make that straight edge. Okay, now it is time to close up our little triangle here. And to do that, you're just going to be closing it off with all forward knots, except for the very edge where you're just going to be doing a forward backward knot. So for your third color of this triangle, you're just going to be doing 1 forward knot and then a forward backward knot to make the straight edge. And then for our second color of the triangle, you're going to be doing the exact same thing, except you're going to be doing 3 forward knots and then a forward backward knot to close up the triangle and make the straight edge. And then moving on to our very first color, we're just going to be closing that up as well and doing the exact same thing by just doing 5 forward knots and then finishing it off with a forward backward knot. Okay, so now that you have this little triangle here at the very start of this bracelet, you're just going to be doing the exact same thing on the other side. So just remember, it's mirrored, so we're going to be doing forward knots all the way along these lines right here till we reach our forward backward knot, and then by doing the exact same things, the triangle is kind of almost like layers, and then at the very end, your last color, which for me is like the lighter pink, you're just going to be doing a backward forward knot onto the string at the outermost left side. So basically it's just exactly what we did here, except just mirrored, of course, and doing the opposite knots. So I'll be back after I finish this triangle. Okay, so now that both of your triangles should be finished, you're just going to see 2 center strings in the middle, which are the ones that you've knotted the chevron with at the beginning. And for me, they're going to be the white. And first, I'm just going to be taking the right center string, which is my right white color. And I'm just going to be doing forward knots all the way until I reach this outermost right string. Okay, so now that you've done your forward knots, you're just going to end this row with a forward backward knot onto the outermost right string. Okay, so next you should take your left center string, which is the very center right now. I'm just going to be doing the exact same thing except mirrored. So just backward knots all the way until you reach this outermost left string. Since your string that you've just knotted with is next to the outermost left string, just do a backward forward knot onto the outermost left string to complete the inverse chevron. So next, in this pattern, we're just going to be focusing on this little square just below the triangles we have just done. And this is going to be the last half of the pattern. So after we complete the square, when we get to finish up the pattern. So to start the little square, you're going to take your new center color, which for me is going to be my darkest gray, and you're just going to be tying them together with a forward knot. And then after you have that, you're just going to be taking the next color. So for me, I'm just going to be doing the right side, and you're just going to be doing a backward knot onto the right center string. And then you're going to switch to the left side and do the exact same thing, except with a forward knot onto the on the left center string. And after you're finished with that, you're just going to be tying both of the new center strings together. So for me, it's going to be my slightly lighter gray. Then you're going to do this once more, except with your third set from the center color. And you're just going to be doing two forward knots onto the two strings to the right of it. And then since this is a mirroring pattern, you're just going to be doing the exact same thing on the right side by doing two backward knots onto the two strings to the left of it. And then once they're both in the center, you're just going to be tying them together with a forward knot. Now we're going to be starting with the X in the very center of the square. So as you can see here, I did it with the yellow color, so kind of crossed over the two other sets of colors. So for this, I'm going to be doing this with the light pink. And I'm just going to be doing 3 forward knots onto the 3 strings to the right of it, starting on the left side. And after I finish with that, I'm just going to be taking my other light pink on my right side and doing 3 backward knots onto the 3 strings to the left of it. Okay, so for the next part of this bracelet, we're just going to be focusing on the 2 little sections on either side of the square. So to do that, you're just going to be taking your second color of your first gradient, or sorry, your third color of your first gradient. And you're just going to be doing 3 forward knots onto the next 3 strings to the right of it, and it's going to be happening on the left side of your bracelet. And then after you have that, you're just going to be taking the second color in our first gradient here. So for me, it's going to be the brick color, and it should be the fourth and outermost left string. And you're just going to be doing 2 forward knots onto those 2 strings to the right of it. And after you have that, you're going to take your first color in your gradient, which would be your third string from the outermost left side. You're just going to be doing 1 forward knot onto the string to the right of it. For our sort of bottom half of our left section here, you're just going to take your fifth from outermost left string, which for me is going to be the second shade of my gray gradient. And I'm just going to be doing 1 backward knot onto the string to the left of it. So the string to the left of it should be the first color of your first set of colors. So mine's going to be the dark brick color. And then you're just going to be taking the 7th from outermost left string, and you're just going to be doing 2 forward knots onto the 2 strings to the left of it. And then after you have that, you're just going to be taking your middle color. So for the sort of X color that you did before we started our left section, you're just going to be taking that. So that should be the left middle string in the center, and you're just going to be doing 3 backward knots onto the 3 strings to the left of it. And then there it is. We've just finished our left section of our little square in the middle. Okay, so for our right section of our bracelet here, of the square, you're just going to be doing the exact same thing as you did on the left side, except of course mirrored, since the entire pattern is mirrored, as I've explained before. And so yeah, you're just going to be doing the exact same thing, except mirrored with the sort of backward knots instead of forward knots. And they're going to be like 3, 2, 1. So 3 backward knots, 2 backward knots, then 1 backward knot, and then you're going to pick up the string on of the second set of colors. And you're just going to be doing 1 backward knot, then 2 backward knots, and then finishing that side off with the other fourth of the X. So after I complete that, I'm just going to be coming back to you and telling you the last step of this pattern. Okay, so for the bottom part of your bracelet, the bottom section of the little square right here, you're just going to be taking your center 2 strings. So for me, it's going to be my third color in the gradient with my brick color gradient, and you're just going to be doing a forward knot in between them to tie them together. And then once you have that, you're just going to be taking the left string first, or it doesn't matter since it's mirrored. And you're just going to be doing 2 backward knots onto the 2 strings to the left of it. And then for the other half of the little triangle shape, you're just going to be taking your right center string, and you're going to be doing the exact same thing, except it's going to be 2 forward knots into the 2 strings to the right of it. Okay, so for our little second step for this bottom portion of our square here. You're just going to be taking the center 2 strings once again and doing a 4 knot in between them. And then after you complete that, you're going to be taking the string to the left in the middle, and you're just going to be doing 1 backward knot onto the string to the left of it. And after that is finished, just take the right center string and do a 4 knot onto the string to the right of it. After that is finished, just tie the 2 center strings together in order to complete the bottom portion of our little square here. Okay, so that's basically the entire bracelet. So after you have completed all these steps until now, just start with the chevron that we've done at the beginning and then continue the pattern from there. And if you're wondering why the colors have switched, that is because the pattern calls for switching colors, so that's why my gray is here instead of my brick color, so it's just going to switch. So yeah, all the colors are going to switch for the next portion of the pattern. So it repeats over and over again. So as you can see here, it turns out like this at the very end, and then like I just said, the colors do switch, so as you can see here as well. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed it and learned to make this reflected diamonds friendship bracelet. And yeah, so if you guys have any questions or any advice or suggestions for me, make sure to leave a comment and or message me on Braceletbook. That would be great. And if you guys enjoyed this, and if you made the bracelet yourself, make sure to post it on Bracelетbook.com and then tag me in the comments so I can see it. And so yeah, I'd love to see your guys' creations based off of my tutorials. So yeah, thank you guys so much for everything, and I hope to see you guys in my future videos. Bye!